Hey guys, so what I'm gonna do is go through what I look for on a regular basis and how I use this to its fullest capabilities. Okay. First and foremost, we trade at the right times. So if we're looking, we have breakout zones, right? A couple breakout zones, this one and this one, right? And then we also have the black line to play with as well. If we're looking at US 30, which is what this was originally made for, this is what it looks like. But this is good for pretty much everything as well, right? If we look at gold, we'll see that gold broke out early on during its time, right? Break, retest, gone, pressure, another breakout there, and it did its thing, right? So first and foremost, we want to have alerts set around these. So once you have your alerts set, what you do is you start with the daily. You start with the daily and you get an idea of the direction of the daily. What tells you the direction of the daily? Okay. First, it is whether we are in an uptrend or a downtrend. Second is this as well, right? The foreground with the trend, super trend. Then we look down here and see what the ADX is doing. You see it's buying, right? Then we look at what position is the fan re-entry in? Are we at the bottom at a place where it's crossing over going up? Are we in the middle, right? Like this? Or are we at the top in a place where it can pull down? What are we seeing with that, right? So we start from the daily. We don't spend a ton of time there. These other lines are the Bollinger Bands. All right, I found them to be helpful, and you see how I went out, came back in here. I found them to be helpful. So we go there, and that's what we look at, and that's what we look at on all the different time frames at the same time. One after another. So next we look at the four. What do we see on the four? We see we're at a level. We see that we bought for a while. We see that we are at the top of the fan re-entry, looking possibly to come down. We are the ADX. We have both of these under here, so it's deciding which way it wants to go. And we just bounced off a band, and it's pulling down right now. So then we go to the next one. What do we see? It already pushed down a good a bit. Both of these are down. Now we have the top-down analysis here as well. So we can see where the pressure is, what's going on. And what else do we see? It already peeled off the band. Started coming back down towards this black line, crossed over. Right? Where's the next level that it may hit? It already hit this one. Now, when we're looking at this, it's not like a directional thing. I look for, is this blue line under the red line? Because it always comes back to it, right? It always comes back to it. Is it under it to where it needs to come back to it? Or is it above it where it needs to come down from it? Right? Now we're on a 30-minute, it looks different. It was under it, now it's crossing up. And what happened? It hit a level and it's coming up. So, and the ADX is looking like it's coming up as well. Right? So let's go back to the daily. Daily looks like this. Daily looks like this. Buying pressure. 4 hour looks like this. Just sold some, but it just bought a lot. Hour. Coming off that level. This is looking like it's going to peel back to it. I'm saying that blue line is going to come back and touch this red line. So there's some buying happening. I see fam re-entry. It's crossing over down here at the bottom. Oversold. 15-minute. Now, with these parabolic SARs, right, it kind of just gives you the trend. Starting from like the 15-minute and down. I don't mention it on the higher time frames because it doesn't really help as much. But starting from the 15-minute down, you see that it kind of gives you a pretty good trend analysis. You see? Gives you a pretty good trend analysis and kind of gives you tips on the start of a trend. Now the 15 is a little more delayed than the rest of them, right? But regardless of what, it kind of gives you an idea. So we know we're kind of pushing up on the other time frames. The top-down analysis, most of it says down. And then the 5-minute, where are we at? Kind of in the middle there. ADX, sellers are up right now. This is at the bottom, so it's normally just going to come back to this at a certain point. What else do we see? We see the parabolic, kind of flat. It's deciding, right? Right now we're in sell mode with this. Now we get into where entries can come from, right? So this is where the game is played. The execution is going to be on the 15-second, but remind ourselves what's happening on the upper levels, right? I'm going slowly through it so that you know where your eyes should go and what you should be seeing as you're going through it. So here we're kind of in the middle there, right? Kind of in the middle. Remember, we're looking for a little bit of buying pressure overall. The 4-hour looks like it could sell. So it's really deciding. You're not seeing much. It's not obvious. Now, when you get on this 30-second and 15-second, you see how it was below? And it just peeled back up to it. And then it pushed up here, right? You saw how that was. It touched it, and now it's peeling back off of it. Again, it's deciding. So if it's not clear, extremely clear on what's happening, that means that you stay out of it. That's what it is. So we see this little push down. We see that it's a new trend starting on the 15-second here. We see everything saying down. Let's look back at the daily. Here's the daily. It touched something. That's the middle of the Bollinger Bands. 4-hour looks like this. I feel like that could come back to this black line here. And my bias would be selling based on that. My bias would be selling. This is up here like that. All the top-down analysis says sell. Here's the 15-minute. Crossing over the line. 5-minute. I wouldn't mind getting into a sell on this. Right? So let's go to the execution time frame. So we have the best entry possible. What do? We go down to that 15-second. We are right in the middle, and we're looking for that to be if we're looking to sell, we're looking for this to be closer up here and in a position where it can be crossing over back down this way. Now, do you need to do all of this to be able to enter? No, not at all. But knowing this does a ton for you. It does a ton. It gives me the confidence to be able to get into pretty much any market at any time. But what you want to do is be in the most optimal markets at the most optimal times. Right? This is chop at this point, right? But when you get in here, I'm waiting for this to come up here and start to cross. I'm waiting for this to be a little bit closer. The closer that these are, the weaker that trend is, right? The further that these are from price, the more pressure it is, right? So I don't want to get in when the blue is under here, because it's looking to come back to that line. Don't want to get in when it's under. I want to get in when it's above it or touching it. Touching it is a guess, but above it is giving you okay, well, it still has to come down to it, right? You see, what if I got into that? It would have been tough. Why didn't I get into that? Because this was under it. It needed to come back to it. This is why the execution is on the 15-second here. So now I can do that. Now this is an actual combine. This is an actual combine. And this is a 150K. And let's see this play out. It's coming back towards this black line. So I'll add another there. And here it comes. And we're in profit. Now it's on a level right here, so it's not optimum. We're probably going to take it down to this level or close to it. There it is. Now we're moving. See how it's getting close to this price? This buying is getting weaker. And it's probably going to take out one of these dots and begin a new trend on the sell side. I say take out one of these dots. When price touches it, just like that, it starts a new trend the other way. And there you go. So even in a nice, a choppy market, you can take profit at the take profit level. Can it go further? Yeah, probably so. Let's go back to what we see on the higher time frames. The daily touched this middle line perfectly. The 4 hour looked like this. It was at the top, looking to pull down. This just happened, right? The 1 hour looks like this. Still hasn't, done anything crazy. That's why I wanted to take it pretty early. 30-minute looks like this. Right, but now you know what to look for, and you can just swipe through here and take a look and see what's up. The 15-minute was, for the moment, selling through that black line. Top-down analysis, everything says down. You can probably re-enter this in the next few. 5-minute looks like this. Remember to look at the fan re-entry down there to see if the blue line is on the top or on the bottom. That's a retouch. Retouch that line. The retouch was this. Just retouched it. Bounce from it. And then down on the execution time frame. Here we go. You can probably see that head on down to the next one. There it is. Look how pristine that is. And where are we going? Probably heading down to this next one. If it doesn't do it right away, it's because this Bollinger right here. Bollinger. I don't know how to really say it the right way, but find out at some point. And here we are. There it goes. Just touched it and skipped on down to the next. There we go. So we could take that. Bang. Clean. I may skip on down to another one, but it's okay. So that's what that looks like. All right. Overall, I think it's 1,600 or something for the day. And that's it, man. That's it. This was down at 146 and some change. Yesterday, I basically just I tried using the 15 a couple of different times, and then it just shot away real quick. So highly unnecessary to do that, but this ended up being, I think about 2,000 for the day. About 2,000 for the day. But yeah, that's it. I did the same thing over here with a higher lot. So today's P&L was 574. It's down to 799. But I just wanted to have this thing be low so that you can see how pristine this can be. It was only 1,000 left on both of those, and we ended up doing about 2,000, 2,500 for the day. Right between the two, just about. Just doing this. So this is very, very pristine. This is how you do it. Go through it one more time. We'll do it on something different. And this is what it looks like there. Hit that daily, see what's going on. Outside of the bands, buy-ins up. Fam re-entry is up here, overbought. Next. Just pulled out of the bands. Right. Started a new trend to the top side. Pressure is up. outside of the bands, came back to the bands. Looks like the sellers are waking up. We're in the overbought down here. It's a mixed bag on the top-down analysis, right? Mixed bag there. Parabolic is down here. You see how beautiful the time earlier today was. Didn't even take advantage of this at all. 9:30, breakout perfect. 475. And on US 30 even, ooh, clean. Look at that. Look how pristine these breakouts are. Bust out, retest, came back, and jumped out of here at the very, 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 very bottom. ADX let you know the candle before. And look at that trend starting. Beautiful. Look at that. Ooh, 604 pips. All right. So, you know, when you did the top-down analysis back then, it was clean, pristine, easy to see. And if you didn't do any of that and you just did a breakout, you would have been absolutely fine. But this is for if you ever want to get into the market at any point, right? 30-minute, this blue line is on the bottom, so that I could buy a little bit more. Top-down analysis, all but one, on buy mode. Same thing here, right? The sellers are going home for a second. New trend down. Let's see. 5-minute was oversold. ADX was here, came out here. Crossing over that black line. 1 minute. Everything says up. Or overbought. And this hasn't decided. I'm going to do one more entry just so you guys can see. Second, and our execution time frame is here. We are right by a level, so you want to be careful with that. You definitely don't want to be right by a level. If anything, you want to take a trade heading towards a level that hasn't been hit. You see what happened. These levels really, really don't play. So let's flick through again. Daily, up. 4 hour, up on the Bollinger Band. Could pull back, but Fed reentry on top. Could pull back some. Pressure is up altogether overall. 1 hour, pressure is up. Fed reentry, blue on the bottom, so it could peel up. All of these are, you see, some of these are, both lines are under this threshold, which means it's deciding. .15-minute Fed reentry on the bottom. Looking kind of oversold. Looks like ADX is waking up. 5 is coming from oversold. 1 minute is overbought. It's really half and half right now. 30 seconds is on top. 15-second on top. So here's the buying energy happening. It's been buying since we've been going through it. So there it goes. There it goes. I just want to be more comfortable by having this a little further away from overbought. If I'm trying to buy, if I'm looking to buy, I want it to be starting a buying spree rather than, oh, wrong market. That was it right there. Well, how's that entry? There it goes. Right in the profit. Right to a level. These levels do not play. And I'm not trying to hold it to see if it's going to blaze through here. Especially when it's mixed signals. As you can see, I'll set this as an example. But overall, we wanted to see some buying energy. There it was. A little bit late. But them levels don't play, as you see. Let's go back to here and let's see what happens. I think I can take that out now. New selling energy. Wait for that thing to come back up. And there you go. Right back into profit almost. Just about. Now this is oversold. And coming back up. So that was a fumble. Should have waited for this to happen. But watch what happens. Remember on this 15, it look like this. 5, like this. So what I can do is take this right down. This is my 50K. Oh. I thought I was at the 150K. Let me watch this go into profit. Oh, shoot. And that's that. See?